Want one of the most impressive new construction homes in Los Angeles with panoramic views, luxury finishes, and a modern floor plan built to impress? On today's Montebello new construction home tour, we're touring the Apex model home by Toll Brothers, part of the Viewpoint collection here at Metro Heights in Montebello, California. This home blends bold architectural design with next-level livability, and if you're searching for a Los Angeles luxury new construction home, well, you want to be checking out Toll Brothers here at Metro Heights for a move-in ready modern home near downtown Los Angeles. This tour should be at the top of your list. Let's get this home tour started. So today we're in Montebello, California. We're going to be checking out the Apex model home as part of the Viewpoint collection by Toll Brothers in the Metro Heights master plan community. Now there are two builders in here. There's Toll Brothers as well as Lennar. And again, we're looking at the Toll Brothers Apex model home. So the one right behind me is what we're going to be checking out today. That's going to be 5 to 6 bedrooms, 5 to 6 bathrooms, 3,259 square feet of living space. I'm going to detail to you how you can get to 6 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms if you want it, but I'm actually going to recommend that you don't do that. And you'll probably understand why once I actually discuss that with you when we go inside in the interior. So this community right here, this master plan community, again, it's all new construction between Toll Brothers and Lennar. The Viewpoint collection has a total of 97 home sites. Of the 97, 34 are the Apex. This is the biggest one. So this starts around 2.3 and then goes up from there depending on the home site if there is a lot premium. And there are a lot of lot premiums because you do have a lot of view home sites in this community here. So we're going to get into that as well during this video. Living at Metro Heights, it's all about resort-style luxury. And it truly is, if you really think about it, a one-of-a-kind lifestyle that's going to await you at Metro Heights. And that's because they have so much to offer here, including the 3.5-acre, 10,000 square foot plus recreation center called The Club. They have multiple pools, spas, private cabanas, even a state-of-the-art fitness center. And this is all included in your HOA dues. Plus there's indoor and outdoor social spaces, outdoor kitchen, fireplaces, barbecues, multiple event spaces, and even an event lawn. There's a children play space, a 5.8-acre public park, 7 pocket parks, open space, and there's a scenic promenade and 6 trails. So we're going to turn around now, start this home tour, and can't wait to show you everything this new construction home in Montebello has to offer. So this is a 3-story home. When we go inside, I will detail to you what's on every single level. But on the outside, this is the coastal contemporary elevation, the facing on the front. They have a total of 4 different elevations, including this contemporary coastal, the contemporary craftsman, transitional, and modern. So on the exterior, it's not actually limestone, but it's actually a tile, but it looks like a limestone finish. And that goes for the same above, where it looks like it's a wood facing on the exterior up there. And it kind of really gives it a modern elegance and kind of mixes up the color combination. And I really dig it. But again, it's not wood. It looks like wood. It's meant to look like wood. And especially here in Southern California, when you have dry wood, termites, right? It's probably in your best interest not to have wood siding like a lot of the homes that were built in the 1950s through 1990s. So again, you know, if you're going to be looking for a home that has that modern look to it, this is something that I think that's going to appeal to a lot of people. Now, I also wanted to show you the garage door here. Right? So they do have a few different options when it comes to the garage door. So if you want to have the nice modern see-through, like that glass garage door, you can get that also. And then this looks like limestone, but it's actually a tile driveway. Now, I want to tell you this because they have all the landscaping here in the front. It's going to be given to you as a basically dirt in the front. And we're just going to look across here. These are homes that have already closed escrow and they haven't put the landscaping in, so it kind of gives you an idea. And it comes with it basically with concrete. Now we're gonna go over here to our left. We're gonna walk down here. That I wanted to be able to show you another one of the floor plans here just from the outside. This is the spectrum that we're going to be taking a look at, right? And this one's actually a little bit smaller at 3114 square feet. We're not going to go in it, but what I wanted to show you is, look, again, you have this tile driveway, and again, it's interconnected with strips of artificial turf, so you know you can really see where each car is supposed to be parked on the exterior. And this is that modern garage door that I was telling you about. So just for remodeling a lot of our sellers' houses, I can literally tell you what it costs to do this individually. So if you wanted to compare it, maybe you wanted to do it after the close of escrow, it's something definitely I can walk you through. Welcome inside the Apex model home as part of the Viewpoint collection by Toll Brothers at Metro Heights. So again, this one's 5 to 6 bedrooms. We're going to get into how you can configure it as a 6-bedroom home. I'm going to recommend you don't do that, and I'll tell you why soon. 5 to 6 bathrooms, 2-car garage. This one is 3 stories and a total of 3,259 square feet of living space. So as you enter into this home, the first thing that you notice is this 2-story great room with 20-foot ceilings, right? I mean, this is enormous. Now, I do want to say, as another disclosure, when you get this home, when you buy it new construction from Toll Brothers, like almost every other builder, you're not going to have the decorative walls, right? That's something you have to have your contractor do. You will actually get it with drywall and paint. But there's a lot going on here. I mean, just look at all the gorgeous, beautiful windows right here and the floating staircase. We'll show that to you and go into the details about that in a little bit. Now, let's take a look at this expansive glass wall system right here. This is 15 by 8. And then, of course, you got the sliding stackable doors, which to me is really a Toll Brothers staple. I highly recommend that upgrade. Typically kind of runs in that $70,000 to $85,000 range for starters, but most of our clients that buy new construction, they always add that on as a structural upgrade. All right, so you don't have a fireplace in here, and to be honest, you know, I find that most of our clients end up having the fireplace as a decorative item. Most people usually don't even use the fireplace, but let's make our way over to the rest of this great room. So let's start with the kitchen. So you can get this as a waterfall island, as your island that would be actually upgraded. What is upgraded here is the size of the countertop. So this is a 2¼ inch of thick quartz countertop with your gray veins. And then look at the different colors in here too, right? You have all the cabinetry against the wall. You have that light beige color, right? And because the tile flooring here has the bits of gray and light hints of brown also, so the cabinetry color works, and it's being able to contrast all these colors like we see so often in new construction. You have that two-tone. So you have that darkish gray, almost black right here, but because you have these large grains on your white quartz countertop, you know, you don't need this black quartz countertop here that has different colors in it. Here, you want to keep it simple. That's what we're looking at. You want to have these neutral colors that we see so often. Now you see your quartz backsplash here going all the way up. And then let's talk about the appliances here in this kitchen. So for starters, right, I wanted to point this out over here, that look at this beautiful 6-burner gas cooktop. And now you're actually gonna have a oven underneath it. That's one of the changes they've made, because remember, now they're in phase 6 of 17. Now, if you turn around over here, you're gonna have your built-in refrigerator and freezer, and then you're gonna have a second built-in oven also. So I think that's something that people really like here. Now, this isn't a massive kitchen, compared to maybe some of the other Toll Brother communities that we featured on our channels, but I think for the size of the house, it really works. Now, one of the things I always recommend to our new construction buyers when buying a Toll Brothers home is to opt in for the cabinetry that goes all the way to the ceiling. How many times have I told you guys that, you know, what typically ends up happening is, you know, maybe you have something for a particular holiday or 2 or 3 times a year that you may use something, and you don't want to be looking throughout other places in the house or in the garage. So being able to utilize all this cabinetry comes in really handy. I would say on average with Toll Brothers, this kind of runs between 15 to 20,000. Now, speaking of cabinetry, now again, this is being used as a model, but you also have all of this extended cabinetry too. That's an additional upgrade too. I would also recommend that. Also, people really like it. One, as an extra prep area, especially if you're hosting events or parties, you can put all your platters out and food boards in that area. So I do recommend the extended cabinetry as well as the cabinetry from floor to ceiling. Now, I really do like the designer lighting, but that's not an option from Toll Brothers here. So you really need to be aware of that. They will give you the junction on top to be able to install the lighting of your choice, but it does give you an idea. Now you can see where you have a space for 3 to 4 chairs or bar stools here, right? When you're kind of talking with friends and family, getting that big meal ready. And of course, that opens right into your formal dining area, and you have more stackable doors leading to your backyard. Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group. I hope you're enjoying this new construction home tour. So what do you think of this home so far? Yes, this is obviously vertical living that we're talking about, but a lot of people tend to like the fact that you have a very low maintenance backyard, and basically the focus is on the inside, the interior of the property, all of the living space itself. So what does it take to be able to get on the waiting list for Toll Brothers? Well, that's actually changed over the last few years. Before, you had to pay $1,000 deposit. Now it's a little bit different. Now there's actually not a deposit required until you actually are ready to sign a contract. So if that's the case, then we can actually help you with all of that. I really do enjoy hand-holding all of our new construction clients, whether it be from the signing of the contract, meeting you at the design center, right? Being with you when you have the framing going on before they put in all the electrical. You really like to have somebody in your corner to kind of advocate for you. I work for you, I don't work for the builder. I have a relationship with the builder because a lot of the builders reach out to us with their inventory and their incentives on a weekly basis. And so I know most of the salespeople throughout Southern California. But the idea is here, this is why I'm kind of showing this to you today, is that it's all about you, not me, and just being able to have the knowledge when it comes to new construction, and I can kind of make recommendations to you, right? Well, hey, you know what? This is an upgrade you should invest in for resale 7 to 15 years down the line. Or, hey, you know what? Don't spend the money here. Use it towards a different structural upgrade. So whether it be getting advice for different structural design and electrical upgrades, maybe sometimes it makes more sense just to go have your contractor do it after the close of escrow, right? Especially if you want an accent wall or if you want to maybe redo the flooring, maybe it just makes more sense to have your contractor. And this is the kind of conversations that we kind of like to educate our clients about. So if you want more information about what it takes to buy new construction, reach out to me. I'd love to have the conversation with you. But really, let's get back to the home tour. So now you can see the grandeur of this floating staircase, and just look up. You know, typically when we're used to seeing the floating staircases, we've showcased them in places like Tesoro Highlands, right? Or Hidden Oaks, right? In Chatsworth. They're beautiful. But this, you may not know this, this is the only floor plan of any of the model homes, not just the model homes, in any of the floor plans built by Toll Brothers in this master plan community that actually has this floating staircase. So the floating staircase is $125,000, right? And again, you can only get it on this floor plan. So I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Again, I'm not the one paying for it, but at the same time, I think it's There's a reason why they only offer it on this floor plan. This is the biggest floor plan that they have at 3,259 square feet. If you didn't have it, right, you would have a normal staircase, and where that chair is over there, that would be a storage area underneath the staircase. So that's your floating staircase. Now, I did want to show you, you do have a half bathroom right off the entryway right here. So let's go in and show you like there. You have the upgraded tile, and take a look at the countertop on this. So I love the countertop, right? And it's not just your typical, you know, white quartz countertop with one vein in it. It has some color and character in it, right? And you want to be able to have something that contrasts the cabinetry. It's a very light color because you have a light color flooring, a light color cabinetry, and they were smart. So you have the gold finish here, right, on the faucets and on the handles on the cabinetry, as well as the shower head. So of course, again, love the dark color right here in this shower enclosure. And then of course you got your square tile on the bottom. All right, we're not gonna go in there, but this would be where your downstairs bedroom would normally be on this floor plan. So again, you have one bedroom, one bath on this lower level. Use it as a guest bedroom, an office, and many different opportunities to use it. Now, earlier in this video, I had told you that you have the possibility to configure this as a 6-bedroom home with 6 bathrooms. And how that would look like is that you would actually have this living room space as your 6th bedroom. And also you would have that 6th bathroom there as well. Me personally, I would not advise that. Very few people need 6 bedrooms when it comes to a new construction home. Most 5 bedrooms is way more than sufficient, but if you needed it, that is an option. The only problem is that if you were to actually convert this space into your 6th bedroom, you would not be able to have the floating staircase. And to me, I think the floating staircase is an essential feature of this new construction home. All right, let's go up to the 2nd level and let's discuss a few things. So let's talk about homeowners association dues. The dues will be approximately about $299 a month, and that includes the maintenance and the operation of the common areas within the gated community. And that always includes, you know, the entry monuments, the gated entry, the recreation area, the common area landscaping, just to name a few. Now, property taxes is probably one of the biggest questions that we get here, right? You have an annual special assessment of $1,000. So not a lot, right? Because when you go up to northern Los Angeles County, it's not uncommon that your tax rate can be 1.8, 1.95 with Melrose. So the current base tax rate is approximately 1.35%. Now, if you're interested in schools, right, the residents will be served by the Montebello Unified School District. You have Portero Elementary School, which will be K through 5, Macy Intermediate School, 6 through 8, and Shore High School, which will be 9 through 12. You're gonna have 3 bedrooms on this 2nd level. 2 of them have their own private bath. Now, another question when it comes to new construction is solar. So the solar is actually being installed by Sunrun, and the lease right now is running currently about $180 to $230 a month, depending on the floor plan that you end up going with. So just something to keep in mind. These are a lot of the details that a lot of our clients ask when it comes to new construction. Now, another question that always comes up is like, well, how quickly can I move in? They do have move-in ready homes right now. And when it comes to the move-in ready homes, a lot of them, they've already included in the price the structural, electrical, and low voltage, appliances, plumbing fixtures, cabinets, countertops, and tiles. And a lot of them, they basically just have a flooring hold, which means that the only thing that they're waiting on right now is just for the flooring to be determined. If you wanted a quick move-in home, then you're probably looking to about January or February. If you wanted to start from the ground up right now, let's just say, for example, you wanted to wait for a premium view lot to open up in a later phase, right? Because they do have some elevated home sites. So if that's something that you wanted, right, you might have to wait a little bit. And so there is going to be a premium for those view lots, and that can range anywhere from $250,000 to $350,000. So since you have 3 bedrooms here on this second floor, it's a good idea that they do have your laundry hookups here, right? And the cabinetry above, that is an upgrade. It does come with the sink though, so if that's something you're wondering about. The flooring that they currently have in here, right here, is the luxury vinyl plank flooring. Now this will basically come with a 13 by 13 ceramic tile in the wet areas, and then you'll have carpet everywhere else, right? So in the great room, in your bedrooms, you'll have your standard carpeting. All right, let's go over to our primary bedroom and attached bathroom. So this primary suite, in this floor plan, you can see the stunning views. Now it's a slightly cloudy today, but on a clear day, you can see pretty far out there for sure. And just look at all that natural light coming in with all these large windows. Once again, over to your left, you're gonna see the decorative walls. That is not an option, just a reminder on that. Same thing with the light fixture, although the light fixture is pretty cool in my opinion, right? And then over here, straight ahead, you're gonna have your attached bathroom. So the attached bathroom in this primary suite, you're gonna have a separate soaking tub, and you have a pretty good size shower enclosure. So I like what they did here, right? So it's the same cabinetry that we've seen in the other bathrooms as well as the kitchen. And then to give it a different color, the tile that they used in the shower enclosure is gonna have that brown and gold and gray, and it allows you to use a floor tile, right, that kind of combines that brown, grayish hues on it, and that's how you're able to have the color scheme work. On your dual sink vanity, you're gonna have the gold colored finishes on your faucets, and so the handles on the faucet coincide with the same colors as you do in your shower enclosure. And then this is the same tile they used, the designer upgraded tile here on the backsplash right here behind your vanity. Inside here, you're going to have your walk-in closet straight ahead. They do not offer built-ins in this community, but you know what? We work with a great contractor who specializes in installing new closets. So if that's information you want, definitely reach out to us. So all the ceilings in here are 10 feet, in case you're wondering. And again, you know, that large great room, that one ended up being 20 feet. So if you're looking for something with really large ceilings, and that's one of the biggest criteria when it comes to new construction for a lot of our buyers, is one of the first things they ask and look for is whether or not the home is going to not only feel open, but when they walk in, does it have those soaring ceilings? And so that's something that people really want. So now we're heading up the floating staircase up to the third, that top level. This is wood flooring here in this model home. And then once you get up to the top, just like the second level, you're gonna have that luxury vinyl plank flooring. So this third story right here, you're gonna have this third floor loft, right? So it's essentially another entertaining area, right? You have the TV downstairs in the living room, but this is kind of like where your game area is going to be. I can see people, you know, putting a pool table in here, maybe a foosball table, right? You have plenty of room for a big sofa. You can watch the big game, have movie night here. And so I think it's just a really wonderful space. Tons of recessed lighting above. And then on the other side over here, this kind of looks like a subway tile, right? But it kind of gives it that old school brick look, right? As opposed to just having a tile here on the background. This countertop here, I really like the gray. And that's because you're able to kind of differentiate itself because you have the white here. It's an off-white here behind it. And then right here, you have your brown luxury vinyl plank flooring with that kind of goldish color on your handles for your cabinetry. So it kind of gives a few different colors there. And really they're all neutral colors. So pretty much everything that you put up here is going to coincide with the color scheme. What I really wanted to show you today is this covered deck. We're gonna check out the incredible views once we go outside. But of course, again, you got this Toll Brothers staple, these stackable sliding doors, and takes us out to this, right? So again, all this is gonna come plain to you. You can design it however you want. Same thing with the fireplace. But check this out. This is a south-facing home. Now it's slightly curved just based on the street, but this is where you're gonna have all your gorgeous views. The view's spectacular. Again, we're here on a slightly cloudy day, but again, you can see to Long Beach, Catalina, so far away. And that's what I think one of the appeals here, especially if you get one of the south-facing view lots. Even more so, you obviously have to pay a premium for those view lots if you get one of the elevated views. Now, the view lots are typically going to be a little bit smaller, right, than some of the other lots. None of the lots go above about 5,000 square feet. Most of them are going to be in that 3,000 to about 3,200 square feet when it comes to the lot. So they're able to really stack a lot on each lot itself. Now again, this ceiling fan you wouldn't be able to get from Toll Brothers, but they do leave the junction there so you can install, if you wish, to have a ceiling fan up there. And this is just a great extension of the living space, like we're always talking about. But usually we're talking about it on the first level, from the living room or the family room going out to the outside, right? But here you're talking about on your third level, being able to have the opportunity to walk out and enjoy this space. Now there is a bedroom up here as well. So you have a bedroom and one bathroom. So the bathroom's not attached, as you can imagine, because if you have friends and family over, it would be very hard for them to go into the bedroom itself. So you do have your one bedroom on this third level. And I do like the upgraded doors on your closet, the upgraded sliding doors. And yet, once again, I will point out, because it comes up more often than not, is that these decorative walls right here, that is not an option. It'll only be drywall and paint. The bathroom, which is right outside this bedroom. Again, you have the upgraded tile, the square tiles in the shower enclosure. This is the same countertop that we saw in the downstairs bathroom off of that downstairs bedroom, as well as the same cabinetry that you've pretty much seen in the kitchen as well as the bathrooms. Once again, going to use these stackable sliding doors, which is one of my favorite features, by the way, of all the Toll Brothers homes. And now you come outside to this. So again, these are going to be smaller lots, right? That's a feature here in this community. So looking between 3,000 to 5,000, but again, most of them are going to be 3,000. And huge disclosure, I always tell you guys this in all of the videos, that this is going to be delivered to you as a dirt lot. Now, Toll Brothers might be my favorite builder when it comes to what they are able to do with in small spaces and how they are able to come up with customizable spaces. I work with a lot of contractors, so I can give you a lot of ideas and kind of give you a ballpark figure depending on what you want to do. So you have the pool here. I'm guessing a lot of people probably aren't going to put the pool in. One, to be able to maximize all of the space, and two, most importantly, that you're already going to have access to the club here at the Metro Heights. So you're not going to need to have that pool directly in your backyard. Although it is pretty cool. So they have the artificial turf, they have the tile pavers here, and of course you have the island barbecue as well. And this is a gorgeous island barbecue. You got your gas grill, your refrigerator, and look, you're able to fit in a large table here in your backyard. Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group. So what did you think of the Apex model home as part of the Viewpoint collection by Toll Brothers in the Metro Heights master plan community in Montebello, California? 3 stories, right? And you got 3,259 square feet of living space, 5 to 6 bedrooms, 5 to 6 bathrooms, right? And so this is just a great community. A lot of opportunities to own view lots, right? That's something if you want help with, we can facilitate for that. for you. But again, if you have questions about new construction, whether it be Toll Brothers or other builders, again, I work for you. I don't work for the builder. Yet at the same time, because we have really good relationships that we've developed over a long period of time, right? So I have access to a lot of information. So, very simple things, a lot of times, sometimes, a lot of the builders, they have 1 day a week that they might be closed, but because I have access to a lot of the cell phones, to a lot of the sales reps, right? The sales managers, that I can get you that information quite quickly. Just small things like that. But usually what I recommend for our new construction clients is that I always like to have a Zoom meeting and kind of answer a lot of your questions, right? Because there's a lot of things about new construction, like I always talk about. I know I sound like a broken record for sure, but it's really important that I like to educate you before you go down to the sales office. And once you have that information at your disposal, you're gonna feel a lot more prepared, and you're not gonna feel like you've been blindsided with some of the things that you might be responsible for as opposed to resale, right? And obviously, if you're looking to customize a home, that's something that I really enjoy doing, especially because just on the resale side, we do so much work to get our homes ready for sale. We remodel them and whatnot. So I have a really good idea when it comes to prices, because a lot of times, our buyers, when it comes to new construction, they'll get the very basics, tile, carpet, and then they'll have their contractor come in basically and redo a good portion of the house. And so I can give you a lot of those prices just based on the square footage of the home, and I can give you what it's going to cost per square foot. So that's another advantage of being able to have all the resources at your disposal as a result of working with me. And again, I don't get paid by you, I get paid by the builder. So if you have any questions about new construction, definitely reach out. Hope you enjoyed this home tour. I'm Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group, and I'll definitely see you on the next one.